I arrived home without warning on Christmas Eve. The cold cut through me, sharp as a blade, the temperature dropping below freezing. My breath turned to mist as I walked the path, gifts tucked under one arm. It was supposed to be a surprise. I wanted to see her smile, to watch my daughter's face light up when I stepped through the door. But the driveway was empty. No laughter, no signs of life. The house stood still, curtains pulled shut, faint light flickering inside. Then I saw her, my little girl, standing on the porch. Small, trembling, lips pale, no coat, no blanket. Her body shivered as she tried to speak words I couldn't hear. The gifts slipped from my hands as I rushed forward, scooping her into my arms. She felt like ice. That's when the sound carried from inside. Music, soft jazz, laughter, the pop of a cork. I pressed my ear against the door. My wife's voice warm, alive, laughing. Laughing, while our daughter froze in the night. Something inside me cracked. I kicked the door open. The wood split under my boot. Heat and the scent of champagne washed over me as I carried my daughter inside. My wife froze, her glass lifted halfway to her lips. Her eyes widened as I spoke 6 words. You left her out to die. The room went silent. Only the fire dared to crackle. She stammered. I didn't. She wanted to play. A lie, immediate, instinctive. My daughter clung tighter, half asleep, feverish. I wrapped her in my coat and sat down with her in my arms. My wife avoided my eyes, poured herself another drink. Her hands trembled, but her words were steady. You're overreacting. Overreacting? A child left in the freezing dark? I said nothing. Silence has weight, and she felt it. I saw it in the twitch of her jaw, the way her gaze flicked toward the fire. Her laughter earlier hadn't been for herself. It had been for someone else. I looked around. 2 glasses on the table. 2 plates. A faint scent of cologne that wasn't mine. My chest tightened. She had left our child outside so no one would hear her cries, so her knocks wouldn't interrupt the performance of her evening. It wasn't just neglect anymore. It was betrayal, disguised in perfume and champagne. The next morning, before dawn, I woke with my daughter sleeping beside me, her fever easing beneath the weight of my arm. My wife lay upstairs tangled in silk sheets. Quietly, I began my work. Phone records. Strange numbers. A trail leading back to someone I recognized by name, an old college acquaintance. Her messages weren't hidden well enough. Tonight. Yours always. Desire carelessly spelled out. I didn't confront her immediately. Instead, I built a file. Hotel receipts, photographs, restaurant bills from places we'd never gone together. The brand of champagne she suddenly claimed to like. Each page I printed was another brick in a wall I was building around her. A prison of undeniable truth. I studied her in silence. She smiled too wide, asked questions too sweet, tried to bury guilt in forced affection. She thought she still held the stage, but the curtain had already been pulled. And I was waiting for the right moment to close it for good. When the file was thick enough, I slid it across the table. Christmas ornaments still dangled above us, glittering hollow and empty. She frowned. What's this? Your life, I answered. Her hands shook as she opened it. Page by page, her color drained, her lips trembled. Texts from her lover. Hotel check-ins. A champagne receipt from the night our daughter nearly froze outside. You went through she began. I silenced her with a look. I know everything. Tears came fast, desperate. It was a mistake I didn't mean. But the evidence in her hands made every excuse rot before it left her tongue. I remained still calm. Rage folded neatly behind a mask. She begged, reached across the table. I didn't move. Silence swallowed her whole. Then I pressed play on my phone. Her lover's voice filled the room, low and adoring, promising her things she once promised me. She froze, horror widening her eyes. The sound of betrayal lingered like smoke, suffocating. I spoke 6 more words. She knows what you really are. My daughter had woken, standing in the doorway, blanket around her shoulders. Her eyes, too wise for her age, looked at her mother with quiet understanding. My wife broke then, collapsing in sobs, crawling toward the child she had left to freeze. But my daughter stepped back. And I let the silence stay. That was my revenge. Not rage, not violence, but truth, cold and merciless, revealed before the only witness that mattered. The next day, I packed slowly. My daughter sat on the bed, silent, watching. My wife begged, bargained, promised change. Her words were smoke, vanishing before they reached me. By nightfall, I was gone. My daughter asleep in the back seat. I drove into the dark road ahead. No pity, no sorrow, only clarity. Love doesn't survive neglect. It doesn't survive betrayal. It dies in silence. And the silence between us was complete. The last image burned into my memory was the doorway where she left our child to freeze. I knew then, I would never return.